Hello, and today we've got a laptop showdown for you. We're going to be comparing the 2006 white MacBook with the 2011 recently released 13-inch MacBook Pro. And obviously it's important to know a 2006 MacBook, the only configuration that it comes in is the one we've got here, the 13-inch model. Now, you might say this is a slightly odd comparison to be doing. The 2006 MacBook is obviously going to be slower than a 2011 MacBook Pro, but a polycarbonate MacBook is still available that is very quite similar specs to this, a very similar design. So it's still a worthy comparison, and a lot of people have these MacBooks. You can see a lot of people having these MacBooks just by going to coffee shops, so it's still a relevant comparison if people are wondering whether they should upgrade to a MacBook Pro or not. So we're going to dive into the comparison, and first when you look at the design, it's worth noting that again the MacBook Pro, the MacBook is older, and obviously you can see that it's been used more. There's actually a hole in the plastic case here, which wouldn't happen with the MacBook Pro because it's metal and it's unibody, so a little bit more future-proof there. The MacBook also shows up quite a bit of dirt because of this white design. The white design does look nice, but it does show up dirt quite a lot. We have the MacBook's got a bigger bezel around the screen, so even though it's the same screen size, I can tell just on video it looks significantly smaller than the MacBook Pros. If we were also to look at the MacBook, the trackpad is significantly smaller, and it's one of those trackpads with the buttons that are now obsolete, not obsolete I should say, but getting old in the, yeah, they are obsolete now in the MacBook and MacBook Pro lines actually. If I can just get that into shot here. So yeah, you can see that the MacBook has the old trackpad, whereas the MacBook Pro has the new clicky trackpad. There's kind of the differences there. Okay, so we're now gonna take a slightly more performance oriented test, and we're gonna look at the difference in performance between these two. Obviously it should be quite significant because this is a 2006 computer and this is a 2011 computer. You'd hope there'd be quite a significant difference, but we're going to try anyway because we might be surprised and the MacBook may snag a victory in some things. So rehash the specs on the MacBook here: 2.16 GHz Intel Core 2 Duo processor. MacBook Pro 2.3 GHz Core i5 processor, Sandy Bridge. MacBook 4 GHz upgraded 666 MHz DDR3 RAM. MacBook Pro 4 GB 1333 MHz DDR3 RAM. Sorry, I just had a mental block there. the MacBook has a 160GB 5400 RPM solid state drivers, 5400 RPM hard drive inside it, whereas the MacBook Pro has a 128GB Apple upgraded solid state drive inside it. So there should be a significant difference. Now, because of some physical impediment, I can't actually turn both the solid exactly the same time. So to try and remedy that, I'm going to give the MacBook a significant edge, so that the MacBook Pro should still catch up. So I'm going to start the MacBook first, and then start the MacBook Pro. And you can tell right here, I can tell on camera the significant difference between the screens. There really is a difference, and you can see on the MacBook that there's a bit of a crack in the screen, and right here we can see the MacBook is still loading, or the MacBook Pro just finished loading, but there wasn't, given the fact that I started it so much later, there wasn't a significant difference. And they're both full brightness now, but you can see the MacBook is significantly darker than the MacBook Pro. So we can see the obvious difference here. It's important to note that the MacBook has a standard eyesight camera, whereas the MacBook Pro has a FaceTime HD camera, so something to note there. We should also note that the MacBook has again been used a lot more, and it has a hard drive instead of a solid state drive, so that should account for a significant difference in speed of loading applications. So they both have the Mac App Store installed on. So we're going to load the Mac App Store, and once again we're going to do it first on the MacBook to maybe give it a little bit of an edge, but the MacBook Pro should still win because it's got the faster specs. Okay, so we're going to start it on the MacBook. And again on the MacBook Pro, okay, well that wasn't a fair test, because again there were a load of different pages, and the MacBook does look like it's got a bit of an edge, but again that probably wasn't entirely objective test. We should also note that I use different MagSafes, and the MacBook does not have a backlit keyboard, whereas the MacBook Pro does. The MacBook Pro has a multi-touch glass trackpad, whereas the MacBook does not. The MacBook has a removable battery, which I normally get about 4 hours on, whereas the MacBook Pro, it has an internal battery, and it is newer, but I get about 9.5 hours, so there's nearly a 6 hour difference there. Again, I have just got the MacBook Pro. So let's do a shutdown test again I'm going to give the MacBook Pro the edge. Okay, so we saw that the MacBook was still significantly faster. Now, these tests weren't entirely objective because I didn't start at the same time, but I can tell you that in spite of the fact that it's a Core i5 processor and SSD drive, for day-to-day tasks you don't notice a giant difference, so I wouldn't recommend stonking up the extra cash for a solid state drive. And just a quick note here, you can see the difference between the trackpads. Hopefully we're going to bring in the trackpad that I use for my desktop, the Magic trackpad, again from Apple, and you can see that if I you can see that the Magic trackpad is significantly bigger than both the MacBook Pro or the MacBook trackpad. So I'm out of here. This is a comparison between the MacBook and the MacBook Pro. You can complain in the comments about how unfair it was, but I hope you got a sense of the physical difference between these two. You got a difference of the specs and in particular the screens and just the build quality in general. So thanks for watching this video, guys. I'm gonna get onto shooting the full review of the MacBook Pro, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.